Live on the air.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of Bits and Tokens.
Welcome.
We're going to be doing some news again today, and probably reviewing a little bit of the charts, the usual.
The huge.
So first off,
Happy Friday.
happy Friday. It's Friday. Friday's cool Friday.
Only Friday for a little bit longer here in the United States on the East Coast, though.
Right, it's already it's 25 more minutes until it's not Friday. It's Saturday. So good weekend to all you guys. Now, in the past day or so, it's been a little bit happening on. Our first topic we're going to get into is Mr. Weatherman.
So the first thing, there's some rumors that Coinbase might seriously IPO. Ryan Neuner, I believe, is the guy from CNBC, talking about how Coinbase is supposed to IPO soon, asking for a valuation of $8 billion, and they're trying to raise $500 million. So,
is that what they were doing with Tiger Direct? Do you remember, like, they had a meeting and they had a meeting with their shareholders, and they were asking for like 250 and 250 from the other, to that up to 500. Oh,
indeed,
that's what it was.
It could be. That could be.
No, the pieces are coming together. I see.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this story here. Let's see.
Newsflash.
So scrolling on down, Ryan Neuner from CNBC, who hosts Crypto Trader, promised to release details. Now, I haven't seen anything else about this. Like I waited because it came out yesterday, and I was waiting for today to actually get the deets on it, but haven't seen any details. Coinbase did in fact release their numbers, and the numbers are pretty good. As we thought that there were a lot of institutional traders, maybe not a lot using actual Coinbase for institutional trading, because only, we can call it maybe 20% of Coinbase's users are going to be institutional traders. It's 80% retail or consumers right now, so that's actually pretty interesting.
Pretty good.
But not seeing anything specifically concrete about Coinbase IPO. So
it's kind of just like lingering there right now.
Yeah, this is just saying. Let me see if I can zoom in here. This is just saying they previously reported that they were likely to take the most obvious path and become a public company. So that was already a previous sentiment of CNBC.
Right.
I think they spoke with the guys from Coinbase. There was like a whole interview.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an exclusive interview.
And they said that an IPO would probably be in like the interest of the investors, et cetera, which, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of great news about Coinbase. It mentions here that they've been approved as an independent custodian. That was the news that we saw about XRP.
Yeah.
So how all this ties together with XRP, because I love bringing stuff back there. Supposedly, some of the other rumors are Coinbase might list XRP first to kind of like boost up
before they do it as a custodian?
Well, no, they might list XRP as like part of the custodial stuff because they got approved for that, right? So they could list it in a custodial form.
Most likely.
So they might do that before the actual IPO. Supposedly, that's
most likely, to be honest, because that's just gonna boost their clientele,
right?
And that's just gonna bring more attraction to them. And if they already did, because they're already in the works of doing all that custodian stuff, but I'm assuming I would see it coming before the IPO, unless they have all this stuff put together, which I doubt. They're probably working on it, but
right.
Who knows? I don't know. They're letting people go, so.
That's another thing. They are letting people go, which obviously the investors like that, but they're not doing bad. And I mean,
they're not.
You're valued at $800 billion. I think you can afford. Would they let go like?
They have 550 staff members, and they let more than 15 people go. So.
That's a pretty decent chunk. It's not an end of the world number
right.
or anything like that. Still definitely a decent chunk of their workforce.
Yeah, it said it was customer service. Some of the people who detect fraud, which I don't know how I feel about you letting those people go.
Oh man, I've called Coinbase. I've called Coinbase twice just for like general questions and I like to talk to people. Not like I'm weird. I just call places. Like if I have a question, sometimes it's easier to just like talk to a human about like getting answers or whatever. So I called like twice to Coinbase, and they're very polite, very courteous.
They have a script.
They explain that there's certain things they can talk about, certain things they can't, and they're just really courteous. A very nice experience, I guess, when you're calling into a place. Sometimes you don't get that. So, but they're probably making enough money that they wanted to be very nice to you on the phone. So,
I mean, customer service is kind of everything. However, it's kind of hard to go somewhere else and buy some of these coins, as you're like kind of mentioning earlier, because like where else do you go? Because Coinbase is great, and okay, I mean the reason that they're doing so great is that when you buy Bitcoin, 5% is gone. So I was just like I bought some earlier, and then like
Coinbase, can we talk about these fees, please?
Man, like you guys need to pay your staff, but if you're letting them go.
Yeah, now that we've
and you're worth so much.
Now that we've reduced staff, we've seen the numbers. Can we here's the thing: we're willing to test out a pilot program where you charge us much less than you charge everybody else. I don't know if that could be a thing, perhaps.
Like their percentage, what is it? 5%. A real estate broker charges 6% to sell your house. Why are you charging me 5%? Like that's no, no. Right. Give me my money. Come on. Can we have maybe loan prices 1.73%, preferably like school loan percentages?
Just something that makes sense for the average me, because I can't do it. So yeah, Coinbase IPO perhaps coming soon. Although if you saw the lovely review that was done by our host Annalise here of the Swarm review, then you already know that it was possible for you to have purchased pieces of Coinbase well prior to their IPO. And so
when they do go public, which I'm sure they will, I'm not even going to say if, because honestly.
When they go public.
I'm sure if you bought anything on Swarm, that would be a pretty penny.
It would also go up because it's just a quick recap. The way it works is, so let's say Annalise was one of the people that got let go from Coinbase, and she had some stock in the company. They would do a stock transfer from Annalise to a shell corporation. The shell corporation would only have shares of her stock. It would be comprised of nothing else. So 100% of that shell corporation would be her stock. And so because of that, when they tokenize that corporation and then disperse it to the yous and me's of the world, that means that we're directly investing in just shares of Coinbase. And so that's how Swarm has been doing it. That's how they're continuing to do it. They did Coinbase, and they also did Robinhood as well. Robinhood is not...
Robinhood is breaking my heart. Do you remember that picture I sent you earlier? So they do this thing, right? When they do like maintenance, where literally the charts will shoot up. Like I think Bitcoin shot up like $50. And I was like, oh my God, let me sell. Nope, just maintenance. And then right before maintenance is over, it just shoots back down. And it's breaking my soul. Like Robinhood, like just seeing that, just visualizing it, I'm like, man. They probably do that like because they're testing something out, or I don't know if they're like secretly transferring funds for someone.
Insider trading.
I don't know what they're doing.
First of all, actually, let me retract my previous statement. Robinhood, please don't sue me. You guys are great. You guys are fantastic. Insider trading. That one wasn't me.
My face is not near the mic. Can't blame me. Anyways, so I mean that's the only thing about Robinhood. I like Robinhood, but the thing is you can't transfer it. So I mean, yeah, and then the other thing is like those system updates. Man, those system updates kill me because they happen sometimes once or twice a day, where the system's down, the network's error. Wow. There's a network error.
Robinhood, what's the haps? Is this normal?
I guess it's normal.
You say this happens every day?
Yeah. Every day there's a system update. There's a system update at 6 o'clock to 6:05. Every day there's a system update. And then in addition to that system update, sometimes the system's just not working at all and it'll just crash. And I'm just like,
no, not me.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, you know, I like Binance. I think I'm just gonna.
I
go
use
full-time
Binance. Link in the description for referral code. Helps out the home team over here. So definitely sign up for Binance because, as we can see, Robinhood not so great for cryptocurrencies right now.
Mm-mm.
For stocks, it's fantastic. So also link in the description. So the next little bit of news. Let's see here. I'm looking at my board. We're gonna jump actually to Coinception. We'll talk a little bit about some Coinception.
Coinception, is that a coin and a token or a token and a coin?
We're gonna find out. So someone apparently, and this I'm gonna admit, at first I was appalled by the idea of a Bitcoin-backed ERC20
token is coming to Ethereum. Token. It's finally Bitcoin back. Oh, okay. So this is what you're talking about me,
right?
Okay.
So I was very offended at this at first. Let me go ahead and get that zoom for you guys a little bit more. So I don't like this one bit. I think it stinks on ice until I read it, and then it kind of makes a little bit more sense. But then also, it's mixed feelings. I don't know how I want to feel about any of this.
Are they backing each other? What's going on?
Okay, so essentially there's going to be a trusted / trustless central bank, and I say trusted / trustless because, like, yes, they're going to have Bitcoin obviously in a wallet,
right,
to back all the tokens that they create or whatever. So the Bitcoin's going to be there, and it's all going to be backed supposedly 1-to-1 to the ERC20 tokens that they create. So that part I'm okay with. But then the part that you also have to remember is that it's a wallet, and thus somebody obviously has the private keys to the wallet. So, I mean, technically, at some point, it could just be an exit scam type thing. I mean, because it sounds like a great idea. They're supposedly partnering with a bunch of companies already, and they're going to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. There's going to be atomic swaps for merchants that accept the new WBTC, I believe they're calling it.
WBTC.
Yeah, they're calling it a wrapped Bitcoin because it's essentially Bitcoin
right,
wrapped in Ethereum.
Bacon.
Sure. Honestly, at this point.
Bitcoin wrapped in Ethereum?
Right.
That's a thing? You can do that? You can wrap Bitcoin in Ethereum?
So, kind of.
How do you do that?
It's kind of like how we were talking about Swarm. They take a thing and they tokenize that thing. I mean, you can technically tokenize anything. So they're just tokenizing a token.
They're tokenizing the token.
Well, they're tokenizing Bitcoin.
A token.
Right.
They're tokenizing the token.
They're tokenizing a coin. They're coinizing a token. Coinception.
Okay.
I don't know what so they're calling it WBTC. Like, I don't know if, like, that's the official thing. Like, they're just calling it wrapped Bitcoin. I'm calling this Coinception. I don't care what anyone says. To me, this will forever be Coinception.
That's weird. That's cool though. Maybe, sort of. Do you think the prices will be affected by? So is this going to be a completely separate coin now? Is this?
It's okay. So it's a new coin. It's an ERC20 token, right? Okay. So it's not Bitcoin.
So then
per se.
Yeah, it's not. Then it's not even Bitcoin.
So per se, because the tokens that you get from Swarm aren't a stock from Coinbase, but they are per se.
Well, that's because
And then you have to trust that they're not going to take that company and dissolve it and sell the stock. So I mean, like, at some point there's trust that you have to put in a whole bunch of different stuff if you want to, but essentially this is just another one of those things where, like, it sounds like a great idea, and as long as the developers play nice, then everything is fine. Which, again, we talked about that yesterday. That's not what Bitcoin is, and that's why Bitcoin is so cool, because Bitcoin is not, if the developers play nice, everything is fine. Bitcoin is just fine. So,
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, okay. There we are.
Yeah, I think it kicked off for a couple seconds, but it's back on now.
That's okay. Well, we're here.
So,
Anyways.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because there's too many projects that don't have that same allure that Bitcoin has, where it's like truly decentralized, except for the fact that the Chinese own the majority of the hash power. But it's truly decentralized because like we could have not allowed that to be a thing. So we'll see. I like Bitcoin more than I like proof of stake stuff. I can tell you that much. That's like another algorithm, but it doesn't require mining. Like the people who hold the most coin are like they create like the most consensus. Like they're the most trusted validators. So.
Who's doing that? Who was opening an exchange that was doing that? Was it Stellar? Was it them?
Maybe.
I think
was. StellarX might have been.
I think it was because they wanted to
stake.
have the biggest exchange in the world for like everything, for like bonds, commodities, crypto, everything. And then they didn't want to charge any fees because of work and stake. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It might have been. It really might have been.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, so here's that thing I was talking about with WBTC. So BitGo is the primary. Okay, so BitGo is the name of the company. It is the primary custodian in charge of holding a reserve of bitcoins to back all the minted WBTC tokens circulated on the Ethereum blockchain. So again, they do have. They're calling it a proof of reserves, verifiable. Whatever. But they're still there. And so like yes, there's showing me that like you're the only one with the keys doesn't really look, everything is still there, and then like I go to sleep and I wake up and everything's not there anymore because you're the only one with the keys. So it's like I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's why there's kind of like rules, regulations, and laws behind this kind of stuff.
There's
this
really
one's not
though.
a KYC. I mean, no, still they have to. What country are they out of? They still have to have some rules and regulations, or their country's securities is go after them. I mean, they can't just.
But why though? You're choosing to participate in this system.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to. I guess put your trust in it, and I mean.
I'm tired of KYC stuff. You're choosing to, and I'm not advocating for like exit scams or anything like that, but like you're choosing to put your money in a thing. If you believe that it's a real thing and that's where you want to put your hard-earned money, then by all means do it. If the developer decides that they want to steal your hard-earned money because you didn't do your research and whatever, then so be it. This is one of those things where like it's not, I don't see it as being specifically something you can invest in anyway, because if it's just pegged to Bitcoin, you might as well just buy Bitcoin. I'm sure like it's more of a hassle to buy this than it is to buy Bitcoin, because you would have to exchange Ethereum for this, where like you can literally just buy Bitcoin right now.
Right. Well, you buy Bitcoin and lose 5%. But anyways.
Right, but you wouldn't be able to just buy this for fiat though. Like,
right.
If you were able to buy this for fiat, then maybe you might need KYC. But I'm assuming you're just going to be exchanging Ethereum for this, which like I don't know. It just seems like.
I feel like
it's a cool idea, I guess.
I mean, do they have like a website or like other stuff going on? Like, can we research them and do all that stuff? Because it claims to be, of course, a stable coin since it's pegged and backed or whatever. But
so it's not a stable coin; it's just pegged to Bitcoin. Modern custody for modern assets. Okay, so BitGo is just the custodians of everything. Right. So apparently this is some data center. Here's another beautiful picture. None of these probably are anything to do with them. This is like a bank vault. Like I bet none of these are all just stock pictures. None of this is anything that has anything to do with them. So BitGo, real company, they really exist. Website really looks nice. They're trusted by market leaders. So I mean, like it's, I don't know. I don't like stuff that I can't like hold it in my hand.
I mean, I guess they're just trying to get in there just because there's competition for that now.
But competition, I just don't see how it could be
It's
so
just like,
beneficial. Let me stop being so.
I want to say it's more for institutional investors, honestly, or people who are just afraid of getting in. Because, like, look, Fidelity's doing it, Citigroup is doing
No,
it.
the custody part of it I understand, but like, why would I need to personally hold? So like, the custody part of it is out of the question because I'm personally holding an ERC20 token, and then you're holding my Bitcoin. If I lose the ERC20, so it's the same thing as like when the dollar like was backed by gold,
Right.
because like gold took like too long to like move around or whatever, so like you would use a dollar. So like that part I get, but then like there's no, it's not like the custody aspect of it, because it's not like if I take money from the bank, if I go to the bank and I take out a bunch of money and then somebody robs me, I can't go back to the bank and like, oh, somebody robbed me, can I have
Right.
another?
Money's
Like
gone.
it's not like McDonald's, like, oh, I dropped my milkshake, can you make me another one? Oh yeah, we'd gladly make you another one. Like the bank's not gonna be like, oh, we'd gladly give you another withdrawal, don't worry about it. Like
Don't worry about it. I wish.
so the same thing with them, like they wouldn't, oh, don't worry about you lost your ERC20 token, since we're holding all the Bitcoin, it's safe. Like no, you lost the money that represented the other money, and so like the person who has the money that represents the money can just use that to do whatever they want. Now they stole it from you, it's gone. So like I just don't see the compelled benefit of any of it.
Yeah, now that you put it that way.
Like I want to see something that is just like, wow, that's an amazing use for the blockchain. Like those two competing decentralized like GPS things, like that's a great use for the blockchain. It makes sense to have an immutable, consensus driven list of where stuff is. That makes sense. I would like that to be a real thing. It's people participating in literally mapping out the world and saying where stuff is, and then also getting paid to participate in that network. Like that's lit. I think that should definitely be a thing.
True story. Well, I'll definitely look into them though and check some stuff out. But what's next on our list?
So, next on our list to discuss here today, we have to kind of draw some attention to. Do you remember the guy from BitConnect? Carlos Matos?
Yeah, apparently he's been maybe he hasn't been tweeting, but someone's been tweeting.
So the reason why I wanted to bring attention to this is honestly not even so much for this story, more so as more like a shame on you, Mashable kind of thing for not doing any like diligence whatsoever. So Mashable reports like even walking BitConnect meme Carlos Matos is now calling Bitcoin a scam. And then the first words of the story here, let's get a little zoom going on. You know you're in trouble when you've lost Carlos Matos. So it starts out as a very fudzy story.
FUD.
It starts out super, super fudzy.
FUD spreaders. Come on, Mashable.
But if I go here and I look up the... Oh, battery's running low. If I look up that fake Carlos Matos...
Here you go. Can I reach?
Does it reach? No, my charger's somewhere. I'll go grab it.
Oh, actually, let me just... Just do this thing here because it's here. But here you go.
Okay, then.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways.
The benefit of having two of the...
Same computers, basically. Anyways, so
you come
if you guys
here
look at his
to the page that they're saying
Twitter,
is the one. Here's the tweet that it got everybody like, you know, up in arms. Okay. Bitcoin is a scam. Sell everything. It's never going back up. Which is fine or whatever, but you look and it literally says, let me get that zoom in for you guys. Literally says fund/parody page. That tells me it's not real. It's not really him. Why would this guy, first of all, like, it just doesn't make, like, the whole thing screams, oh God, the whole thing screams not real. He's got all these ridiculous pictures. Like, personally, this is just me. If the public literally hated my guts, if I literally scammed like so many people out of money, like I've never scammed a bunch of people, and like I've never had the public like literally hate my guts, so I'm not speaking from experience. This is the way that I think. I wouldn't post a meme about myself.
True story.
Like I wouldn't like I don't know. I don't know. So
Be
like
connect.
like just with bare minimum even like
you know, got me
trying
rolling. Look at his banner.
Herbalife.
Like what? That had me rolling. I can't pull up that picture that they have of him there, where he's like belly out and all.
Where he's trying to tell.
This had me rolling.
So like, and this one is another. I don't even think this is really.
Oh my God! No, look, they literally stole his head and put it on that man's body.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So
like,
funny.
none of this is real,
Oh
and so like, all you had to do was just care enough to like try to look. But
man.
Oh no, 68 people retweeted it, so you saw it and you had to write a story about it.
Oh no, Mashable, what happened? Like even the picture of his
Jack
face.
Morse, he's on Twitter as like JMorse_ or something like that.
Oh man. Oh come on, Morse. I don't know. You could have done a little more research than that, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Come on, you're making Mashable look bad. You can't spread fake news. This is not The Onion. Come on.
I don't know. I just...
well, happened. That happened.
Like, if it would have just been a report on, like, oh, this might have happened today, like, whatever. But, like, when you started, like, so fudzy, like, I don't like all that fuddy-duddy nonsense. Like, you gotta stop. You gotta draw the line somewhere. Because that's just... I don't like it. I don't like it.
What happened? It's too late now.
I don't like it.
So, any other fudzy or discreet looking stuff been happening lately?
So, yes, I wouldn't say fudzy. I wouldn't say fudzy. I'm pulling up the next thing here now for us. So, the European Central Bank, or the ECB, I'm going to not mention the Ripple part right now. But they're launching some sort of a blockchain-powered instant payment service. They talked about it back in 2017, June of 2017. Like initially was the first time they mentioned using this service from Target. Not like our Target that we have over here. There's some company over there that's called Target that deals with banks.
They have Targets over there.
Right. Different. We're thinking of a different one though. Not our Target with like the adorable dog and like the bullseye logo. That's not the one.
If you work at Target, I'm sorry.
But this is going to be the Target Instant Payment Settlement, or TIPS, which is a pretty nifty name. And so
cool.
We'll see. We'll see what that means. It's definitely great for blockchain regardless, but I don't know. We'll just have to stay glued to this because it might be Ripple powered, which means it might be XRP powered, which might mean very bull run. Regardless, if it is Ripple powered, XRP powered, regardless how fast the banks actually start using it and driving the price of XRP up, the FOMO is going to be so sweet. So sweet. Anytime now like that I'm trading something, like my main bag is like Ripple. So like if I need money to like just trade something real quick, I know something's going to pop. Like I'll just take like a little bit of like my Ripple and just like go. A little bit. Because I don't want to like miss that, like it's Ripple time. You know, it's like I'll just take a little bit of my XRP and go do what I got to do, and then just come right back to XRP. Like I'm hoarding it, like my precious. Like
you should. Ripple's doing a lot of good stuff. Honestly, as soon as I heard that they were doing stuff with the government, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's just a wrap. Like if you got the people who run the whole country on your side, then it's a wrap. You're in there. You're in to win it. You know. But anywho.
So, that was that news. I didn't want to spend too much time on that because who knows if that's really gonna be like a thing or not.
So what about those accounts? The little puzzles you were telling me about?
Okay, so that's
a whole nother thing.
the 310 Bitcoin challenge. So I wasn't gonna talk about it because like I've been trying it for a few days, but then like it came back up where like there's still Bitcoin to win, which is why I've been trying it. There's 0.31 Bitcoin in a wallet somewhere. So I'm gonna pull up
That's
the
not too bad.
Reddit.
It's a good amount of money.
Right, right. Definitely a pretty decent amount. Not mad at the amount at all. So let's see here on Reddit. So the story goes, the legend of this goes, not too long ago, Bitcoin wasn't worth much, but as an early adopter, I was there mining them on my desktop computer on a daily basis. Bought more, a lot more, best investment ever. Bitcoin quickly became a treasure chest. Don't want to provide numbers. We'll get to the receipts in a second. Changed my life for good. Airdrops were created. Oh, this story is boring. Jeez.
Maybe you're just boring.
This story bores me because it's just some guy that's lying. We'll get there in a second. Anyways, so he wants to create this challenge, and he's not an artist. It wasn't an easy process. Blah, blah, blah. Go to this website. Here's some stuff. So here's some updates. October 4th, 2 days after it started, somebody got the first 0.1. October 9th, the first successful registration, which you register after you get like pretty close to the second wallet. And then a few hours later, second wallet was cracked. Then the day after that, and this is why it gets really interesting. So the day after the second wallet was cracked, the 310 Bitcoins were moved, solved by somebody who asked to be referred to as Mark. October 10th, again, the 31 is still not there yet. And October 11th, Reddit thread.
Wait a second. 310 Bitcoin, not 0.3?
No, so 0.31 is the one that's still available. The 310 is the one that already moved. That's the one I was telling you that I'm pretty sure, and I have receipts for this, I'm pretty sure this is a scam.
Moved, like, is it, because this is solved by Mark. But who, so who in their right mind?
So the premise of this was that there was a puzzle, and this guy was like giving out like millions of dollars to the winner, basically.
Yeah, like millions of dollars. That's a lot of money.
Right. So supposedly he was giving out millions of dollars to the winner.
No one does that. That's money laundering. That man was money laundering.
Right.
There's no way. No,
so
there's no one who would do that.
Now the interesting parts that I found, we'll get into it. So this was actually supposed to be the hardest wallet, the 31, and I know that because it's still the one that's yet to be solved. This is the wallet that was supposed to be this wallet, which is why it was much easier to solve than the other two. Was much easier to solve than the last one, which is actually the hardest wallet. So this wallet that has the 31 or the 0.31 originally had 310, and then 309 whatever was removed from the wallet to leave just the 0.31 and moved to another wallet where the 310 now is at. And then the other wallets were already the way that they were. So they moved it. I don't know why they moved it, but they moved it around, making this one actually the hardest one and this one not the hardest one. I don't know why they would do that. So anyways,
I know why.
Well, I know why as well. So anyways, let's go to the actual website here, bitcoinchallenge.codes. So here's the picture, and then part of the first challenge is somewhere over here. It says October 12th, 2018. So you have to use that as like the key for this cipher down here. And then you get a string of words that makes up the private key or whatever, or the seed phrase that you can turn into the private key.
Okay.
Second part of the challenge is these lines here don't actually matter, but if you duplicate these lines, they connect some points. So like this would go from here to here, meaning this would go from here to here, really, and et cetera, et cetera. It just keeps going on. So You basically make a copy of these lines going in the opposite direction, and they'll connect some of these points together.
Is there like a class I can take for this? Like,
well, this is some of the easy stuff, because then like it gets really difficult.
I don't know. I've never done one of those before.
Some of the other stuff that you had to do was you had to go into like, let's say I don't use Photoshop, but I use GIMP a lot, even though like we have Photoshop now, but like I grew up on using GIMP. It's just what I use. You can separate these into like different color channels, and like the 310th color channel, so like a line like right here had like code in it, and then like another one over here was like a QR code when you like isolate certain like color channels. And the QR code is what takes you to the registration page. And then yeah, it's like really complicated. There's like a lot of cryptography involved. But anyways,
yeah,
so
there's a whole puzzle. Literally. Okay.
we're gonna look on Block Explorer. And so there's like only a little bit of Bitcoin that's left. This was the one that originally had the 310 Bitcoin in it.
Okay,
And then somebody left like some scraps in there just in case anybody else wants to solve it and like get in there. But here's the part that is like kind of interesting to me. Like as you kind of peruse some of the transactions here, they're just really weird. Let's go back even further. So here's the one I was talking about where it's like 309,999 or whatever that was moved in. That was one of the ones that was moved from the other wallet to over here. So like the other wallet was the original 310 wallet. Let me see. Dun, dun, dun.
103. Is that all in the same wallet?
So these transactions were sent.
I'm assuming that's the last one from the 310. That's the most recent one, I'm assuming.
So these are the most recent, these out transactions. They were sent to these three wallets here. Somebody's gonna mix this up and try to like remain anonymous or whatever.
I feel like somebody stole some Bitcoin and is trying to erase their tracks.
So my theory, and I've seen this theory as well. My theory is that you're right. Someone stole some Bitcoin or any coin. Someone stole some coin, and it's probably traceable up to this wallet because I looked in through some of the other transactions for some of the other wallets, namely the wallet that originally was the one that had the 310 in it, and that wallet has like a ton of like just single transactions for $65,000, like a ton of them, like 65,000, like a ton of them, like so many transactions for that specific amount. I like they were just like there's a certain limit that they could do each day or like each whatever. So anyways, like a ton of transactions for 65. And then beyond that, like let's say you had this money that was a coin, you turned it into Bitcoin. Now you're trying to like get out. So instead of trying to like open a business and layer it and then accept Bitcoin and like do all this stuff, what they did was they created this challenge. They didn't anticipate that it would get so much traction so fast. So like the money was there and like someone actually could have solved it and got the money from the thing. Like they had to make it look very, very authentic, right? Mm-hmm. So the money legitimately had to be on the line. But then when people started getting like too close to it, mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's when they were just like, nah, we're done. We gotta boogie.
Yeah.
We gotta split. Like there's no way.
How much is that? How much is 310 Bitcoin?
A lot.
Right
like
now,
I said, all in, I think it was almost 2 mil that they were giving away. If you just do 310 BTC, Google does it for you.
310 BTC? What?
Yeah, Google knows what time it is when it comes to Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's almost 2 right now.
So that's so crazy. Like, there's no way that you literally just had like, oh, I just have $2 million. I'm just trying to like launder.
No one does that. That's
just trying to launder ass. Like,
sham.
There's no way.
That's a sham. There's no way. If it's so those little amounts, like, and it's not even such a little amount because like 0.31 Bitcoin, like that's over $1,000. Let's see what that is right now.
FAQ proof. What am I looking for? 222.
Not 31 Bitcoin, Google. 0.31 Bitcoin.
It's still good. That's still some rent.
Yeah, it's almost $2,000.
That's still some rent.
Like that's money. Like that's a good amount.
But that one,
somebody giving 310, 2 million.
That one is the hardest one, actually.
Yeah. So how the heck is a 310? Like, no, someone was doing some shammy shit.
Taki mushrooms, hey.
Yeah. So no. Don't do shammy stuff, guys, because
Okay, so here we go.
there's receipts.
So the wallet that sent 309 originally received 310, et cetera, Bitcoin, and then the final balance was left at 31. So this was originally the wallet that had 310 Bitcoin in it. It was then sent to the other one. So this was supposed to be the final one, and the other one was supposed to be. Now, when you look through these transactions, 19, 19, 9, 19, 19. Like, there's just so many transactions for like the same amount. Like, it's crazy. Like 10 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin. Why is, like, I get it. It's like an even number or whatever, but there's just so many of these transactions, and then like you go through and you look at all the rest of the wallets, and like it just keeps getting worse and worse from there. Some of them have 65,000, like over and over again repeating. It just looks weird. It looks like somebody was like trying to mix some stuff up to get out, because like the mixing services, like they're not perfect. Like you can follow the blockchain. That's what it's for. So I don't know. It looks like they were just trying to not really like exit scam, because I mean they did give away money, and it was fun to like do some of that stuff from some of the stuff I knew how to do. Like it was fun, and then like just following along with the other people that knew exactly what they were talking about, like that stuff was fun. But I don't know, man, it just seems so scammy. So I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I'm pretty sure they were just trying to wash that money, which like really wasn't a bad idea, honestly. Could have been done a little bit smoother. Red flags the whole time, but I don't know. Interesting concept, little project they had going on there.
I don't know what to say besides be careful. I mean, honestly, that's I don't know. I mean, I always see those little games that you can play and you can like crack the codes and things like that. But like this one definitely wasn't just any old game. It wasn't any old game.
No, it was really difficult. It was really difficult.
Anywho, moving on. So, in other news, how are our charts doing?
Gonna pull those up in just a second.
I saw Ripple was doing a little. What I've noticed with Ripple is that it does this thing where it makes a little wedge and it kind of just squeezes, and then either goes like pops up or pops down, which is normal. But in addition to it squeezing and popping up or down, it's been like swapping off between up and down. So if it squeezes and pops up, next squeeze it pops down. Mm-hmm. After it pops down, next squeeze it pops up. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I thought that was something to just watch out for with the coin. It just looks like it has a tendency of doing that.
Yeah, it's been a pretty upward channel. We're gonna look at it in a second.
I'm pretty sure it'll pop up this time because last pop was down.
Please don't ban me from this subreddit.
Reddit.
Hopefully. All right, so chart, and switching scenes now.
You're cool.
Wowie.
That's a double pop down then.
I don't think it's gonna be the actual technical term for that.
Well, obviously not.
We're not.
It's an analyse term. Yeah, I use a lot of analyse term, guys. If you haven't caught on to them, you'll catch on to them eventually.
It is fine. Not really been a stronghold for some reason, and I don't really know why. It feels like you get there and you go up, and then you get into it and it tries to go up again, and it just doesn't work.
It just doesn't happen.
Comes down, get into that area, comes down, and it's not like a perfect area or whatever. But again, like the numbers don't really need to be like super perfect. but I've been tracking it for a while. Like that's kind of the where it consolidates and then just goes down, and then here it'll just kind of start coming up, goes up too high, comes back down into the area, and then it's just like no, goes back up, creeps into the area, no. So like really until we get past like that 71.56 is where I have it marked, and stay above that for like a while. I mean, we're not really doing a whole lot. That's just the 15. Looking at the 4-hour chart, it probably still looks good if it will pop up. So the 4-hour chart still looks good. I think yesterday we talked about how we might see a down day or two before it goes back up again. But you can see that
had to move it.
Even the itchy cloud is predicting that it's probably going to be up in this area.
Right.
Like the itchy cloud is literally showing like that line right there is the area. So some people were saying, like I saw on Twitter, some people were saying that TA is 100% useless for crypto, and kind of to some degree, but the itchy cloud does work on certain time frames, and what it is you just have to go through and see, I call it like which time frame is telling the truth. And so like clearly this time frame is telling the truth, you know what I mean? Because you have to remember the itchy cloud is built obviously before the candles get there, so all this was here before these candles got there, yet somehow they touched the cloud and then still went up anyway.
Well, they're in a green cloud.
So no, but that's what I'm saying, like it touched the cloud and used it in the way that it's supposed to as a support to bounce off of. So
that's cool.
Came here and did that anyway. So like regardless that it did go inside or whatever, like at some point it bounced off of that, and then over here at some point it was resistance because it was a red cloud. So like on certain time frames it just does work. The hour, not really so much. Well, a little bit, because then we see here using the bottom as support. I don't really like using them as support though. That usually tells me we're not going to make it. Yeah, sometimes using the top as support, I like that, but then using the bottom doesn't really. Good for bounces, but it's not good for like forward momentum moving, for a while. Like this was a great couple of days right here. Like that.
Those were nice. Nice days. The good old days.
It was a really good couple of days there.
The good old days.
So as far as Ripple right now, we're trading underneath that little range that I'm kind of watching. We'll see. It's something to keep the eyes on. Like I said, my Ripple bags are still packed. Kind of wish
bagging Ripples, guys.
Kind of wish I got out because I like the 15. It's been telling me the truth as far as the pivot reversals. So I should have got out when I saw that because it wasn't.
Yeah, right before I got up, it was like at
it was over here, yeah.
7. It was in the low hundreds. It was hitting 99, and then from there it just bye. Oh no, it's okay. We believe in you, Ripple. That's all that matters. In it for the technology, right, Tim?
I'm trying to pay bills. Speaking of paying bills, you will find all of the donation links down below. Don't be shy. The Lord says you should give. You should give.
Remember that time you yelled at me for moving the mic and trying to eat it, apparently?
You should give.
Look at you.
The Lord says.
You're out here begging these people to give to you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, it's not. It's not for me. You don't understand. The Lord says.
The Lord says.
To give.
Said the pastor with the $5,000 suit.
I wish. I don't have any suit, honestly.
I don't have any suit. Got polo dope.
Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Can you see that?
Put your shirt down.
Can you see that?
We're live. We're on TV. Hi, Mom. We're actually on YouTube, but hi, Mom. Anyways, so yeah, this chart's doing the thing, and
this chart's doing a thing.
It's doing a thing. It's right now. Ripple is it's playing right now, in my opinion. It's messing around with my emotions and your emotions, of course. But you just kind of have to. That's kind of how the market goes. The stock market's been crashing, and oddly enough, the crypto market has been pretty good this week.
Been pretty stable.
So usually
the world is crumbling around us, but
yeah, right. Usually the both markets kind of correlate. This time, crypto is pulling through. So I'm not surprised if maybe the little dips here and there are after effects of the market, but I can definitely say based on my not so great stocks that the crypto market is doing much better than the stock world.
Right.
Most things are down by half.
Unless you're really savvy and you are investing in like ultra short stocks. We're definitely not a stock channel or anything like that, but ultra short stocks, it's the wave right now.
It's the wave.
Basically, they are inverse leveraged 3 times. So like you put in $1, but it's actually worth $3, and then it also is inverse of whatever is like actually happening to like the indice it's tracking.
Right.
So like the inverse like tech stocks right now are going crazy. Like you make a lot of money on those. So a lot of money to be made. Even AMD just lost like 30% or something like that, like crazy numbers. So like those inverse tech stocks right now are doing great, and they're leveraged, so you're making 3 times as much as you normally would on a market that's going down. So bears eat, bulls eat, and the pigs get slaughtered. So just don't be greedy and get out there and make some gains, because they're there. You can find them. I believe in you.
We believe in you guys.
But that's pretty much it on my end. Any other news on your end that you found?
No, it's been a pretty latent day. Besides that, I guess Florida man got caught, but nothing to see there.
No, yeah, guaranteed he's donkey of the day tomorrow. On the Breakfast Club, guaranteed.
On the Breakfast Club.
No, probably. Guaranteed. I promise you.
Most likely.
Charlemagne loves talking about people from Florida. Like it's fully a thing.
Florida.
Like, I want to say like half of the.
You know what? After I saw that show was Atlanta, the one that Childish Gambino made, and he's like Florida man, and he like Florida man this, Florida man that. I honestly never realized how much Florida and then man or woman or whatever is after that.
No, seriously.
Like it's so, and I'm just like, man, does Florida really do that much like nonsense?
It's because of it's the most outlandish stuff. Like there's one where it's like there's one where it's like Florida grandma shoots grandson for leaving cup on the table. Like they just like it's crazy. It's so crazy. It was a cup of whatever like kind of tea it was, and he left it there, and she took it, she threw it in the sink, and then he like a couple minutes later just had another one left on the table. I don't care about this, and she came back and shot him.
I shot that man. What? I shot that man too.
Stop it.
No.
Florida lady.
Oh man. No, don't worry guys. I won't hurt you guys. But anyways, that's it that we got for today. You guys make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Yes, Mr. Jerome Dallas, Florida man. Florida man, you are not, I don't think you're a Florida man, but Florida man. Don't be a Florida man. Don't be a Florida man or woman or grandma or whatever you are, because don't feed into the Florida stigma. I'll see you guys next time on Bits and Tokens. But right now, like, subscribe, comment. Bye.